Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great week. I just finished my first week of my second semester of occupational therapy school, so it's been a really tough week. It actually feels like it's been almost a month since I started school, even though it's been a single week. So I don't know if you've ever had that feeling, but this week dragged on and on and on. But so far, it seems all right. I know it's going to be a really tough semester. At my school, this is our hardest semester, and that's because we're taking some really difficult classes. So I thought I would share with you what my class schedule looks like for this semester. So this semester I'm taking a couple of classes. One I'm taking is anatomy, which I know a lot of schools have it first semester. We have it second semester. But we're starting it this semester, and I think it's going to be really intense. We're starting off with learning the material for the back and the spinal cord and that sort of stuff. So we've already like delved right into the material and had a couple lectures on it and are just jumping right in. We're also taking neuroscience, which is going to mostly focus on the brain, and that I think so far is interesting. We had a neurologist come and give us a lecture earlier this week. It was our second lecture of the week, and he was just so interesting. He was talking about how basically he would handle a patient as soon as he gets a referral from, like, let's say the emergency room, and kind of how he takes the knowledge that he knows from neuroscience and applies it to the case, and how even just a really basic understanding can be really beneficial to helping and being able to at least realize that something's wrong and realize that it's a neurological problem. And he was just such a great lecturer, and it made me really excited about the class. I hope that's the only time I think that he's lecturing, so I'm like, we'll see how the other lectures are, but I think that class is at least going to be really interesting because really neuroscience is interesting. We're also taking a class called Fundamentals of Assessments, where we're going to be learning a lot of, I think it's mostly motor-based assessments and just how to give them and all that good stuff. Another class that I'm really excited about is our environments class, and I think that's basically where we're going to learn the role the environment plays in disability. And so the first class, we basically had to walk around campus with, like, some people were in wheelchairs, some people wore goggles that sort of simulated macular degeneration or other vision impairments. We had some people who had like mock hearing impairments, and the concept was for us to go out and see what environmental barriers we would run into. So at our school, some of the ramps are just really steep and it's very hard if you're in a wheelchair, or some of the ways that, like in the elevator at our dorm, the buttons are only on one side, so if you have any vision loss on that side, it makes it really hard to like punch in any of the numbers. So the intent of that assignment wasn't to learn what it's like to have that disability. It was just to really give us insight into, if you did have some sort of disability, what kind of barriers might there be in the environment that would inhibit you or make it really difficult for you to, like, participate in regular daily life. And for me, it was really eye-opening. Especially, I kind of tried on the goggles and some of the vision impairments, and I honestly would have not, like, prior wouldn't have realized half of the things, like especially about contrast. It really drove home the point that, like, contrast can be so beneficial if you have vision impairment, and just some of those lessons that you could have been told, but I think just like having to find them out for yourself was so eye-opening that now we're walking around campus and we're like, oh wow, look at this. This isn't really accessible. And I think this class is going to be really interesting, just learning. Some of it has to be like on policy and stuff, and so that might get a little dry, but I think overall just learning the impact of the environment on disability is going to be really interesting. And then another class we're taking is a contemporary issues class, and we also had this class last semester. And so last semester, a lot of different lecturers came in and just talked about different areas of occupational therapy that are sort of up and coming. So we had like hippotherapy, we had telehealth, we had productive aging, we had a bunch of just random topics that were really interesting, and we sort of got a brief overview of them. And so this semester, it seems to focus a little bit different. It's the same it's like Contemporary Issues Part 2. So this semester we're going to focus more on like global health, health inequalities, health disparities, what are basic human rights for individuals, and on like internationally, not just what we would consider in the United States. And I think it's just going to be really interesting. Our professor seems really open to having difficult conversations and sort of really discussing what issues mean, and I think it's just going to be really interesting. So I'm excited to see how that class goes. A little bit nervous because I think she's really going to make us delve into topics that might be uncomfortable, but that's probably a good thing. I don't know. So that should be really fun. So another class we have this semester is our fieldwork class, and this is a class that only meets like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times during the semester. It's not a weekly class, and it is where I think we're basically just she's gonna kind of prepare us for field work, because we have our first field work this semester, which is really exciting. A lot of people have already received their placements. I don't know where I am yet, but I'm hoping I find out in the near future. It seems like they're pretty much done placing people, or really, really close, so it can't be that long from now, and we'll be doing that in March. And then the last class we have, and I think technically it counts as a class, is our lab experience. So if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, I'm going to be in the neonatal intensive care unit lab, and that is going to be a really intense lab. It is, I think, probably one of the hardest labs at my school. So we'll see. If you see me looking really tired as the semester progresses, it's probably partially because of anatomy and neuro and assessments and the lab. But I think it's going to be really, really informational, and I'm really excited about all the stuff I'm going to be learning and the stuff I'm going to be able to do in that class, in my lab. So I think it'll be great. I hope you're having a great break or a great week or a great time applying or whatever it is you're doing. Have a great day. Bye.